Hello, my name is Nate and you're watching Volkswagen Classics. Alright everybody, in today's episode we'll be tackling the back here of the Beetle, which I did kind of promise in the previous episode, but we had to do the front. We've already cut this out off camera. We've already taken the old tube off this, and we've cut a square here and cleaned up more. Put this slot in, because when we test fit the heater channel last weekend, there were a few main problems, so now that's all sorted. We got this, this is the rust piece we got off last time. We took the back off it, unpicked that. And this is just going there. Just like that. But you can see there's some rust tiles we have to fill in and work out, but like, I mean, that's really rusty in there, isn't it? First up, I might start getting this dint out here. Now that the tube's gone, we can access that better. Alright, have a look at that. So you can see I've gotten the dint out. Go up close, it needs a little more refining, but I got that huge crease out because it's all flat. It's just, the problem is how it was pinched in, it's kind of rolled this top up, and we need to push that back down but not like bubble this out, so it's a little tricky there. But yeah, got most of that out. Alright, as you just saw, we filled up the rust holes in these two pieces with like the oxy. And just there. Alright, now I'm going to do these. cleaned up these two pieces here. Just get them grind down so they're nice and flat. Next thing we're going to do is put these about here where they go, and we're going to retain this beetle piece here because this one here is stuffed, and just cut the sections we need. Same with this, we only need that triangle kind of bit there, so I'll cut the pieces to shape.
I love that town reflecting in the windows between us. Run through the night and run to the light and meet me in the shade of yesterday, where everybody's lost and blinded by the cost. We ended up with nothing. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light. I love that scent, mocking our presence. But where are we? I love that sound, floating round the treetops. Let it loose. Run through the night and run to the light and meet me in the shade of yesterday. A generation's lost and blinded by the cost. We ended up with nothing. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light. Half the night, daytime, half the light, and we're half the light. We're half the light.
Alright, so we just got all this area cut out, and I'll show you what we're doing. So first thing we're going to have to do is this piece here, we're going to have to replicate. It's just a, 1mm steel with a 90-degree bend in it, not difficult. That's the far back, and then in front of that goes this piece, which we're going to probably rust treat and everything like that. That bit goes right there, just like that. And then we've got the where is it? Outermost part, which goes like that. So we're gonna have to get all that together. There's 3 layers, but yeah, that's what's happened. Alright, finishing up Saturday here. As you just saw, I put a bunch of rust treater or rust converter on stuff. I even put some up the front. I only put it up here and in other random spots, just to use it up and not go to waste. But as you can see, we've got this piece here we folded up. And this piece, I think, goes there as the inner piece, which we'll get all these pieces on hopefully tomorrow. We rust treated these 2 here, and we'll let them dry overnight and see how they come up in the morning. Right everybody, it's next morning and our rust treater has dried. Alright, so we just tried bronzing the holes here, but I grind them down and there's still holes. We got most of these sorted, there's still that little one just there, but yeah, we might have to put that patch panel in. Anyway, we're doing this before we do this, because we got better access while, you know, this is gone. So we might try and fix this first and then do this. Alright everyone, let's start off with this. So we didn't use the patch panel. We just got the oxy and bronzed it, put a bunch. Now that honestly took 2 or 3 hours. That took forever. I barely filmed any of it because it's just boring. Just watching the same stuff, bronze grind, kind of finding holes and everything. Anyway, so that's what took most of the day, but you wouldn't have seen most of that on the video. We put this piece in just then. And if we go on the inside here, we put that piece in. We bronzed it because bronze goes to bronze. The welding wasn't going too well, so we'll grind all that down. And Then we'll start welding these two pieces in. So we got the pieces welded in and grind. Alright everybody, it's another day. I'm going to be by myself today, and I just want to do a bit more work to wrap up a few jobs. So we've got to grind that there. Up in there we've got to grind. Here, and that weld there. Up the front we got a die grind here. Die grind there. Alright, I just finished up grinding. Obviously I didn't film any of that. Alright, so I've set the heater channel in place, as you can see here. I did this to see if there's any grinding that needed at the back, because there was some just here and there, so I thought, I don't know if the heater channel will clear, but I've drawn a line just around that. That'll kind of give me the reference of where it's meant to go. But yeah, so the next thing I'll do is check if there's any more grinding, and drop this back down. Probably put some primer on all these spots here and there, and I want to get the dint out of this. Alright, now I'm going to have a go at getting this dint out. Alright, so I got some of the dint out, but that's really hard to get out, that one. And I just gave it a quick grind here because there was the weld. You can just see. But yeah, I need to think about how I'm going to get that dint out. Yeah. My primer's dried here, you can see. This doesn't look too bad. Obviously there's more. I couldn't get that grinding spot. Got to grind here a bit more. Same with here. And if we can get to there, it's kind of hard. There's pretty good. Alright, another day back on the Beetle. Today we think we might put the track in for the heater channels, fill some holes, fit the tubes, maybe test fit the heater channel, see what needs tacking in, maybe roll the floor pan in. I don't know, but anyway, let's see what we get up to today. Alright, I didn't film on camera just then, but I got the dint out of this. So it's pretty smooth now. I just used the anvil kind of against it by hitting on the spots that were like not that, and it put pressure on that and lifted that up, because that was basically probably the only way I could ever get in there. Alrighty, look at that. Anyway, we've got the track welded on, grind, and we put a bit of primer on it. We'll just wait for that to dry and continue with the next jobs. So we've just been filling some holes up in here. We've still got 2 holes to go, we'll just grind them down. But I just cleaned out the A-pillar here. You know, that rust hole. And all that came out. There's all sorts of washers and everything in there. But yeah. Alright, I know we didn't film any of that, but we got the holes all welded up in the front there. We got the heater channel set up on the floor pan here. So what we have done is we've cut these sections out. It won't be left like this, it'll be much neater trimmed, but we don't know how far into trim and if we'll cut the welds off or not. Like, we don't want to, but it might be too far in. So just for now, we've cut around it so this is sitting where it needs to be and doesn't hit on that seat runner. Now there's 2 more jobs we've got to do before this can get test fitted and basically tacked in. We've got to fill that little hole there, and we've got to kind of relief cut this here so we can get this kind of like inside of that, if you know what I mean. Yeah, just like pull that all together and shove this over the top. And then probably when it's in the car we can patch this up because we can get the actual position of this. So what we've just done here is firstly we welded up that little hole, and then we just set the heater channel in here. Now we got this here, the pipe and everything. The plan was just to put this in like that, and that we would kind of like cut that in so this would sit over the top. But what we've kind of thought is if we kind of cut like a square or something maybe in the heater channel, then cut this way back and just butt this up kind of, and do that instead. It will take more time, but that's what we might do. So got to get the head channel out again. Alright, I'm going to start cutting this tube here. I'm going to start off by just cutting a little square here, and so we can get the die grinder to access this, and in the future probably just weld this back on. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so what we've just done, if you're curious, I've cut the square out so we can access the die grinder. I just kind of fiddled around trying to taper this to see if this would go over, but it needs to go further in, so we'll just have to probably cut it and butt it up, something like that. But as they say, it gets worse before it gets better. Alright, just finishing up the day. We got the heater channel back in, as you can see here. And for the first time, we've actually got the pipe in. Now we put this piece, you might recognise that, that's the back seat kind of front bit. So we use this to kind of like measure as a bit of a guide. And we got the spirit level to see how level it is. And it's the exact same as that other side. The only difference that I can see is we're about a little less than 5 mil off here from the center of that to this flange. Well, not to the flange, to this. But yeah, that fits in pretty nice. It's the same heights right now. And yeah, we'll have to obviously patch up the hole and get this tack welded in, but we'll see what we do tomorrow. Probably finish that job off. Maybe we can tack weld the heater channel and set it back on the floor pan. But anyway, let's see what we get up to. Alright, I'm back. Now, I have no idea what we'll get up to today. Yesterday we left off trying to do this tube, so we might do something around this or the heater channel, but I don't know, let's see what we can get up to. Alright, to tell you what just happened, we firstly put this in the beetle, set this to where we wanted to, and put these braces on there and one down there. Now we did that so it can hold position, because we couldn't get the welder in there because there was a cover piece going there. So we've taken it out and we've welded there. Next thing we've got to do is somehow just come up with like a new cover, or use bits of old ones and see what we're going to do to cover that up. We'll cover that up, it goes back in, tack weld the heater channel, and go on the floor pan. Don't know if it'll happen in this episode, but we'll try to get, at least this and tack weld the heater channel in. Attempt to. Alright, so I'm ending this day here. We've got this bit welded on. As you see, these were the braces we used. But we still got that lighting. There's an area there. You might not be able to see it. I'll try and tilt this up. There, all that still needs to be done. But yeah, that kind of fought us, and we had other things that we had to do on the property, so we didn't really get much done. I was hoping this video could come out this weekend, so this will be a week before you're watching this, but it probably won't. So next weekend we'll be back working on this. The plan is obviously fill that hole, get this set up in there, tack weld the heater channel to the beetle, and then lower it back down on the floor pan. But yeah. Hey there everybody, this will be probably the final day of the final weekend working on the beetle for this episode. In today's episode, we'll finish patching that hole, tack the heater channel in where it goes, and hopefully get the floor pan underneath. But let's see if we can do all that today or tomorrow. Right, so it's a bit windy at the moment, so I hope the audio is good. But this is what we've done. So off camera I put primer on that. So we patched all the holes. You know, there's bits of metal sticking in the little gaps there. And I've painted that. So the next thing we're planning on doing is getting this set up in there and just tack welding some spots. I'm not sure where we'll do that, but yeah, looking good. So a bit of work's been done just now. Not really welding and fabrication work. I set the heater channel up in there. I was filming it, but it was going for too long, so I just deleted it. Now what we decided on doing was we gotta probably put that A-pillar in as well. And the reason for that is if we sit this in and that A-pillar is not too great, and the door doesn't line up there, and then when you shut the door it doesn't really work well, we're just gonna have to redo everything. So if we do them all together, tack that, get our heater channel set really good, tack that, then what we can do is cut the bar on the other side. I'll show you which bar we're talking about. Just this upright one here. Cut this off and then we can actually swing this shut. So I've bolted it down just here. Gotten that one there center, and we can see there's a little bit of movement. We can move it around. But yeah, that's about where we're sitting. This isn't too bad, but it's a little wonky. Kind of needs this bit to go over. The front, here I'll show you on the other side. We measured from the bottom of the flange here to that hole, and same here. From there to there, and that's about the same. Alright, so we cut the upright out, and move this one to this side. The previous one was on this side. And now the door shuts about the same door gap as it was last time I test fit them. With the bigger one here. This doesn't look too bad down there, but we'll see later. Yeah, so that's shut and this here's level. So the next thing we've got to do is roll the floor pan out and put this on to see if all the bolt holes for the heat channels line up. Alright everybody, I didn't film us putting the body on the floor pan, but there it is. So the last thing to do is just to check if all the bolts line up. If they do, hopefully they do, we take the body off, fully weld it, finish off the A-pillar and this area just here. But if they don't, we've got a lot of problems. So I'll just have a check. Alright, so we've got some good news. The heat channel lines up. I bolted these two shock towers in the rear in because they're the best points of reference. Them, and I think that's about it, because you can see the front's been replaced, so they're not the greatest reference. You know, the floor pans have been replaced, so anything that bolts down to the floor pan probably isn't the greatest reference. Alright everybody, this ends our video here. It's been 6 days, 2 nights making this video. I was going to plan on releasing it last weekend, but got held back on a few things. But yeah, got a lot of progress. The reason I went for so long is I didn't really want to do little bits here and there that are a bit boring, so I thought, let's mock up the heater channel and fix the back rust all in one episode. And so that's what we did. Anyway, thank you all for watching.